Hey, this is Full Game Prometheus, the only YouTube channel that actually posts full games of all the tips and schemes he posts on his channel. I actually show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. The next formation we're going to take a look at in the Tennessee Titans playbook is going to be the gun tight flex. I've actually had numerous subscribers and people comment about me breaking down a tight formation similar like this. I know that you guys would run plays a little bit differently, but this is going to basically how I'm going to run it. A lot of these plays I'm going to run stock. I'm not really going to make many adjustments, and the reason behind that is that they have great route combinations. So let's go ahead and take a look at the audibles and some of the base plays we're going to call. Alright, so basically we have stick, halfback draw, high inside, high low, and then play action post shot. These are actually really good plays. Draw is a draw. It's the only running play that's actually in this this formation out of the Tennessee Titans. Stick, I don't really care for this play at all. I'm not going to utilize it. It's not something I'm going to use at all. Some of the base plays I'm actually going to call are going to be the cross, the double spot, and I'm going to go ahead and call the bench switch. So those are going to be the couple plays. I'm not going to look at either bench or slot curl because they're essentially the same, but I do like bench switch just because of the way the out routes actually go underneath a route. You should get easy separation. Alright, so one of the base plays I'm going to call is going to be bench switch, and I'm going to run this thing stock. I'm not going to go ahead and make any kind of changes whatsoever, and I'm really just going to pick the side I want to go attack my opponent with, and I'm going to be looking low-high, either on the left side or the right side. Now, it looks like it's going to be a blitzing situation, and I know those out routes are going to get fairly easy separation against any kind of man blitz and stuff like that, and I'll be able to pick up an easy 5 yards or more. And what's great about this particular play is that you can go to the other side, and if you got a good wide receiver, at least get a lane, you can pick up more yards. Now this play is designed with a deep corner route. You can get some pretty good play yards with that. In cover 2, if the defenders actually float down, that corner route might be wide open. If not, you're just going to go and check down to the out route. Bench has been a play that's been utilized online for the longest time, and it's just extremely hard to stop. And conveniently, it comes with a little delayed route by the running back that you can really harass your opponents with. So I'm not really going to go into too much depth about bench, but this is going to be one of the base plays I'm going to call, just because it's just an easy play to run against your opponent, and you can pick up fairly easy yards with it. Now, next play we're going to take a look at is going to be the double spot. And a lot of people like to make adjustments. They like to streak up the spot routes to go ahead and give yourself a corner flat. But I like to leave this play stock and as is. And really, I'm not really going to be looking at Matthew's route, the deep corner on the backside. I'm going to leave it there just in case. But I'm really going to be focusing most on the right side with the table route by the running back Murray. And then I'm going to look at the corner route from there. And then I'm going to look at the spot routes from there. So really what happens is this is going to be kind of like a high-low man read, and I'll show you kind of what I was looking at for my progressions. If you guys have been a long time subscriber to my channel, you know spot is one of the favorite plays that I've used in Madden past. I just kind of gravitated away from it because I'm expanding my football knowledge, my Madden football knowledge. But my first progression is going to be this flat route right here, and if nobody falls out to the flat route, I'm going to go and take that area. Now, if it is zone and it's like a cover 2 or cover 6, I know this backside deep corner should be wide open, and it's going to be underneath the deep safety, and I should be able to get an easy completion. As you can see right there, 16 yards. My next progression is going to be to the spot routes, and what's unique about this particular play is that it has 2 complementary spot routes that I can throw to, and if there's no defenders, you really can't get it. A single defender can't play both of these spot routes. I can pick and choose which side I'm going to go to. So once again, same read again. We're going to go to the running back, and if nobody goes to the flat, I'm going to go ahead and attack my opponent in the flat. Same read again, but this time I'm going to go ahead and go to the spot route because the spot routes actually became open for me. So your first read is going to be the running back. You want to establish that flat, but you can see a defender was out there. And my next progression, I could have waited for the corner route to develop, but I decided not to do that. Now, what's great about this is that you have 2 spot routes right on the hash marks right there, and you can see that this defender gets pulled up because of that deep route out there, that deep corner route. So really, there's not enough defenders to float and basically cover these spot routes unless it's man coverage. But if it's man coverage, this table route by the running back will be wide open, and then also the steep corner route will be wide open against man coverage. So it's really going to force your opponent to pick his poison. He might need to do cover 2 underneath coverage. If he does cover 2 underneath coverage, this is going to be taken away, but the corner route is going to be taken away. So you can run this play a lot. You can run this exclusively. Your opponent's going to have to start running hybrid coverages against you to go and stop it. So that's what's great about the double spot. It's a very easy play to run. You can run it stock. You can quick hike your opponent with it and get easy yardage with it. Now the next play we're going to take a look at is going to be cross, and this is going to be another play that we're going to go ahead and try to effectively attack our opponent below with it. Now the reason I run it this way is because it's going to be a complement to the inside high-low. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to take our number 1 wide receiver right, or number 2 wide receiver, the guy that's on the offensive line on the right side. We're going to go and streak him up. So my X receiver, I'm going to go ahead and streak him up, and that's going to give me progression down the field if my opponent's playing cover 2 and he leaves that naked. But really we're going to be looking at is going to be that drag route by Matthews, and see if he gets a release. And I've basically got a high-low cross lead on the backside that I can go and take and hit my opponent with. My first progression is going to be this route right here, and we're going to watch for man coverage and underneath coverage. As you can see, he's double teamed right now. He's actually getting double teamed. So that's I'll go ahead and take my next progression. So you have kind of a leveled mesh route combination on the backside right here with the tight end. He's going to be able to pick up an easy completion, and I threw the ball where I can make sure I can catch it, and I was able to pick up a 10 yards right there. What's good about this crossing route is that if it is zone coverage and it's over the top coverage, basically he's going to have a nice little blocker on the outside to go and pick up a block, and I can take this drag route and take it down the sideline to turn it up for big yards. So once again, we're going to streak up the wide receiver. That's a very easy, fast adjustment. You can do that as you're coming to the line. And this is where you can essentially go ahead and hit the drag route underneath. So you can pretty much discriminately go ahead and hit that drag route. If nobody falls in that zone, is exactly where you're going to go. You're going to force your opponent to go ahead and defend that area of the field. You've also got this route right here. As you can see, I got a huge play by a small wide receiver, but if I want to, I can go ahead and try to hit him in the seam. If he's running a lot of cover 2 shells like this, you can go ahead and hit him in the seams too with this play. So you really got 3 different progressions. It's going to be the crossing route, it's going to be the streak, and then you've got the crossing route, the deep crossing route by the tight end. Those are going to be your reads, but my recommendation is go to the check downs. It's going to be where you're going to get the high percentage completions. Now, one of the audibles is going to be the inside high-low, and basically you can pretty much run the play stock. Once again, I want to streak up this wide receiver, and if I get a big wide receiver, I can go ahead and do a high pass lead, but we're focusing more off the left side of the field with this particular play. And what's good about this play is that, as you can see right there, the crossing route by the tight end or the wide receiver on that side, the O wide receiver, the 0 wide receiver, essentially is going to be your main read right there. You're going to be attacking your opponent off to the right, and you want to go ahead and throw this in a little bit to go ahead and change up the pace a little bit. With some of the defenses that he's running. So this is just another way to go and do that. And what's great about it, it is an audible, so if your opponent starts flooding the field, you see him moving guys off to the right side, now you can go the opposite direction, and the way the route combinations on the backside, they clear that up for you. You know, you can take a shot with sharp up top. I've forced that in there. That should be wide open for you if you want to go and hit that, but really the main focus of this particular route is going to be underneath. And you also got a nice little running back block and release check now route with this particular play, but my focus is going to be Walker. It's going to be that outside wide receiver because he should be the one that's going to get separation and go into an open part of the field where there's going to be no defenders. And the final play we're going to take a look at is going to be the play action post shot. This is also one of your base audibles. The final play we're going to take a look at is going to be play action post shot. This is going to be a big play, a passing play. This is going to be where you're going to try to open it up for like a good 30-yard gain. A good thing to do to set up your opponent, especially in a short, like a second and short situation, and he's trying to stop the run or something like that. So let's just go against random big dime. And really, this is going to be a little bit more complex because you're going to have to make 3 fast adjustments. First, you want to block your running back to give yourself enough time to go ahead and get the ball down the field. We're going to go ahead and take right and put him on a streak, and then go ahead and take our outside wide receiver Walker and put him on a flat route. So this is going to be what the read looks like. My first read is going to be Walker on the flat out here. If the defender floats down to him, then I know that the outside route, the route by Matthews, who's going to be going over the middle, he's going to be wide open at a deep thing. So you got to let this play to develop, and when it develops, it gets sick separation. So as you can see right there, I was able to pick up a good 30 yards with that pass play. So my first progression is going to be Walker, and as you can see, defender actually floats out to take away that read. So my next progression is going to be this guy right here, because he should be wide open. This guy is just going to pull the defender out of the area, so if he's using a blue third, I should be able to pick up an easy first down. So as you can see right here, I was able to pick up 25 yards on that completion, and 25 yards is just a huge completion for you. So I definitely wouldn't run this play at a regular basis. This is going to be a play that I'm going to try to set my opponent up with. It's not necessarily the best play. Let's see if I can hit the aggressive catch. No, just missed that. So I've got a small wide receiver in that slot position, so he's not going to come down with a lot of those balls. But if a defender does not float out into there and it's a second down situation, you've got some yardage to work with. You want to force your opponent to stop that flat, but really it's all about making the separation right here for this route, and did not come down with that. It was just a bad pass because Mariota is just throwing the ball all over the place. But this is a good play to go ahead and jump into when you need a big play. Let's see if I can get that. There you go. There you go. That's the play I was looking for. The edge was just getting swallowed up by J.J. Watt. So once again, to my subscribers, I hope you guys pick up some pretty good tips from this. This is going to be a scheme I'll be running into my Tennessee playbook series. I'll be running exclusively Tennessee plays. I'm also going to be rolling out a couple other plays and stuff like that. So to my subscribers, I appreciate the support. I hope you guys picked up from this. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button, because you're going to see me using this live online against real opponents, so you can see how they adjust to it, how the plays work, which plays work the effectiveness, and which plays don't really work as well as they're planned. So once again, to my subscribers, thanks for the support.